Starting exercise 14.1. The first question is, a survey was conducted by a group of students as part of their environmental awareness program, in which they collected the following data regarding the number of plants in 20 houses in a locality. Find the mean number of plants per house. So this will give you an idea that you have to find out the mean here. And which method did you use for finding the mean and why? We have studied two methods, that is direct method as well as assumed mean method. Now which one we will use? We will just look for the values and then decide which method we will follow. Okay, so what all are given? Class interval is given. This is class interval 0 to 2, 2 to 4, etc., 12 to 14. And number of houses, that is, this is acting as the frequency Fi. Okay, so frequency is also given. Now the next step is you have to find out the class marks. How will you get the class marks? You have to take the average of the upper limit and the lower limit. And how will you take the average? It is the actually middle point. So 0 plus 2 divided by 2 will give you 2 by 2, which is 1. So that is acting as your Xi. Okay, you will get 1 here. Now again the average of these two numbers, that is 2 plus 4 by 2, 2 plus 4, 6, 6 by 2 is 3. You can see that you are getting the middle number of these two, 0 and 2, in between you have 1, 2 and 4, in between you have 3. So here you will get 5, here it is 7, then 9, then 11 and then 13. So this is giving you your class mark column or Xi. Now the next step is to find out what is Fi-Xi. Fi-Xi. Now why we have planned to find out Fi-Xi instead of whether doing the deviation or not? Because the values here are not so big. Okay, that's why we are following the direct method here, because the Xi value and the Fi values are not very large. Okay, so when the values are small, you can use the direct method. So 1 into 1, 1, 2 into 3, 6, 1 into 5, 5, 5 into 7, 35, 6 into 9, 54, 2 into 11, 22, and 3 into 13, 39. Now we need the sum of all these frequencies, that is, here you will get sigma Fi Xi. What is the sum? You just find out. You have to get it to be 162. So this is sigma Fi Xi. Now the total number of frequencies also you have to get, that is sigma Fi, which is all of these will give you. Actually they have given, this will give you an idea whether you are finding out which you are adding is matching with this or not. 20 houses means here you have to get 20 only. Okay, so that is your sigma Fi also. So these measurements are enough to find out what is the mean. So the mean X bar is equal to sigma Fi Xi divided by sigma Fi. Sigma Fi Xi, you got it to be 162 divided by 20. How much you will get the value as? 162 by 20 is 8.1. Okay, so here this is the mean. Now one more question was there, which method did you use? So you can say that you have used, right? So I have used direct method to find the mean. Since, now why? For the reason you have to write, since the Fi and Xi values are small. Okay, so when these values are small, you can use direct method. So you can write mean number of plants per house is 8.1. Question number 2 is, consider the following distribution of daily wages of 50 workers of a factory. Find the mean daily wages of the workers of the factory by using an appropriate method. So the method which we will use, first we will see what we are getting as the class marks. Okay, that will make us decide what to do or which type to use. Okay, so the daily wages in rupees is given in class interval basis and the number of workers is given. So this number of workers will be acting as Fi, that is the frequency. Now we will find out what is class mark. Class mark is nothing but mid value of these two, or you can say the average of the upper and lower limit, 100 plus 120 by 2, and that will give you 110. Again 120 plus 140 by 2 will give you 130. Then this will give you 150, 170 and 190, right? The next thing which we will do is, actually if we are using here direct method, then the values of xi are already very high, very big, and multiplying with this will give you again a bigger value. So we will use the other method, that is assumed mean method. For that we have to assume a value. Suppose this we are taking as A, that is assumed mean is taken as 150, which is middle of all these observations, and we will just find out what is the deviation from all the xi's. So di will be xi minus A. That means 110 minus 150 for the first one will give you minus 40. Then 130 minus 150 will give you minus 20. 150 minus 150 0. 170 minus 150 20, and 190 minus 150 40. So these are the di or deviations which you have got. Now we can multiply Fi with di, that is Fi di will be the next column. So 12 into minus 40, 12 into 4, 48, so this will give you minus 480. Then 14 into minus 20 will give you minus 280. Again 8 into 0 will give you 0, 6 into 20, 120, and 10 into 40, 400. Now you have to add all these things, that is you have to find out sigma Fi di, which will give you minus 200 and how much you are getting, 40. Okay, minus 240 you will get. Okay, so the sum is minus 240, and this is your sigma Fi di. Okay, this is equal to negative 240. And what is the sum of all these frequencies? That is again given in the question. Just see, it is 50 workers wages. So you can write here directly 50. You can just calculate, you will get 50 only. So this is acting as your sigma Fi. Okay. Now you have to find out what is x bar. For the mean, x bar is equal to, this is assumed mean method. So you have A plus sigma Fi di divided by sigma Fi. Replacing the values, what you will get, A is 150 plus, what is sigma Fi di? It is minus 240. So you will get minus 240 by 50, or 150 minus 24 by 5. That is 150 minus, how much is 24 by 5? You will get it to be 4.8. So 150 minus 4.8, and 150 minus 4.8 is 145.2. 145.2. Okay, so this is the mean using your assumed mean method. Question number 3 is, the following distribution shows the daily pocket allowance of children in a locality. The mean pocket allowance is rupees 18. Find the missing distribution F. Here you can see the daily allowance is given in class interval basis, and the number of children, that is the frequency, is given. Here you can see that this correspondingly for 19 to 21 the frequency is given to be f. That means that value is missing. This f we need to find out. For this, first we will start with what is class mark. So the next column is for class mark, and that is acting as your xi, and it will be the middle of this, or you can say 11 plus 13 by 2, that will be giving you 24 by 2. Okay, like that. Here you can see it will be 14, here it will be 16, then 18, then 20, then 22, and last one 24. These are the corresponding class marks. Now what we need to find out? Fi xi. Okay, the last column is Fi xi. This will give you 7 into 12 as 84, 6 into 14 again 84, then 9 into 16 is 144, 13 into 18 is 234, just check the values. Then f into 20 will be written as 20f only. Okay, 5 into 22 will give you 110, and 4 into 24 will give you 96. Okay, now we have to find out the sum of these frequencies. That means 7 plus 6 plus 9 plus 13 plus 5 plus 4 will be 44, and plus f, that f will be as such. So the sigma fi will be 44 plus f. Now again we have to find out what is sigma fi xi, which will be, add all these numbers, that is 84 plus 84 plus 144 plus 234 plus 110 plus 96, and that will give you 752. 752 plus 20f you will write, 752 plus 20f. Okay. Now we will start with the formula for x bar, which is direct method. By direct method, what you will get? By direct method, x bar is equal to sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. Replacing the values, see, the mean pocket allowance is given, means the mean is given. Here instead of x bar you can replace it with 18. So 18 is equal to sigma fi xi, which is 752 plus 20f, divided by sigma fi is 44 plus f. So it is 18 into 44 plus f is equal to 752 plus 20f. Now you have to, so 18 into 44 will give you 792 plus 18f is equal to 752 plus 20f. So here this will go there, so it will become 20f minus 18f is equal to 792 minus 752. This will give you 2f is equal to 40, or f is equal to 20. So the missing frequency is 20. Question number 5 is, in a retail market, fruit vendors were selling mangoes kept in packing boxes. These boxes contained varying number of mangoes. The following was the distribution of mangoes according to the number of boxes. Find the mean number of mangoes kept in a packing box. Also they are asking which method you are using to find out the mean. So first thing which they have given is number of mangoes and the number of boxes. Okay, so 50 to 52 mangoes will be contained in 15 boxes, like that they have given. But the thing which we can see is, it is not a continuous interval. That means starting from 50 to 52, then it is not starting from this one, right? So this should be the same. For that, what we will do, what is the process for making it a continuous interval? You have to subtract 0.5 from the lower limit and add 0.5 to the upper limit. So what will this become? It will become 49.5 to 52.5. Again, reducing from this 0.5, you will get 52.5 to 55.5. Now you can see they are continuous, right? Again, this will give you 55.5 to 58.5, 58.5 to 61.5, and 61.5 to 64.5. Now this has been made as a continuous interval. Now number of boxes is acting as Fi, frequency. Now the next thing which we have to find out is class marks, that is the midpoint of these two numbers. 49.5 plus 52.5 divided by 2. and that will give you 51. Next number which you will get, that is in between 52.5 and 55.5, you will get it is 54. Next 55.5 to 58.5 will give you 57. Here you will get 60, and the last one you will get 63. Okay. So this is now acting as the class marks or XI. Now again you can see that the values are bigger to calculate, so that we will use the assumed mean method. We will take the assumed mean as the middle number, which is 57, take it as A. Now find out what is DI, which is equal to XI minus A for each value. So 51 minus 57 will give you minus 6, 54 minus 57 will give you minus 3, 57 minus 57 0, 60 minus 57 3, and 63 minus 57 again 6. Now you will find out what is FIDI. FIDI, you just remember, this is FI, this is DI. So 15 into minus 6. 15 into minus 6 will give you minus 90. 110 into minus 3 will give you minus 330. 135 into 0 is 0. Then 115 into 3 will give you, how much it will be? 345. Okay. 345, and 25 into 6 will give you 150. Okay, now calculating this, what you will get is, in total it will be 75. That is sigma FIDI is equal to 75. Now what is sigma FI? Sigma Fi total you are getting it to be 400. Okay, sigma Fi is equal to 400. Now we will calculate what is the mean by the assumed mean method. By assumed mean method, x bar is equal to A plus sigma Fi di divided by sigma Fi, which is equal to, A is how much you have taken, 57, plus sigma Fi di is 75 divided by 400, which will give you 57 plus 75 by 400, dividing with 25 you will get it to be 3 by 16, and again that will give you 57 plus 3 by 16 will give you 0.1875. Okay, 0.1875 can be again approximately made as 0.19, so that x bar is how much? 57.19. So which method you have used? That you can write that you have used assumed mean method, because the values of FIs and XIs were bigger. Okay, since the values FIs and XIs were large, we used assumed mean method. So whatever you are using, you just write the conclusion for that. Okay. Question number 8 is, a class teacher has the following absentee record of 40 students of a class for the whole term. Find the mean number of days a student was absent. So number of days is given and number of students, that is 0 to 6 days. In between 0 to 6 days, how many students were absent, like that it is given, and it is given that for 40 students the list has been given. So here automatically we can write that sigma Fi will be 40. Now again you can see that it is continuous, 0 to 6, then starting from 6 to, then 10 to, so this is continuous, but the interval gap is not equal. Even if the interval gap is not equal, and if it is continuous, then you can apply the same method as you follow for the other. Okay, that means this is acting as Fi. Now you will find out class marks, which is Xi. So what you will get, 0 to 6, the middle term will be 3. Then here from 6 to 10 you will get it to be 8. Then this will be 12. Then from 14 to 20 you will have 17, then 24. You have to just see, okay, it is not in between. For each interval you don't have the same gap, so you have to check and find out. 20 to 28 you have 8 gaps, so it will be 24, like that. 28 to 38 you will get it to be 28 to 38 will give you 33, right? Again 38 to 40 will give you 39. Okay, so there you must be cautious, because normally we will say the middle like that, but you have to just see which interval, like that. So that gap is not maintained here, so you have to be careful while doing this. Okay, remaining is same. You can just use Fi, Xi, or you can use your assumed mean method as you wish, because the values of Fi are smaller. For the bigger values of Xi, that will compensate here. Okay, now what is 11 into 3? 33. 10 into 8, 80. 7 into 12, 84. Then 4 into 17, 68. 4 into 24, 96. 3 into 33, 99. And 1 into 39, 39. Okay. So this method is easy because the values are smaller. So what is sigma Fi Xi? Find out the sum of all these numbers, and that will give you 499. 499 as the sum of the Fi Xi's. Now what is asked? Mean number of days. So mean number of days, that is actually acting as x bar here, is equal to sigma Fi Xi divided by sigma Fi, which is equal to 499 divided by 40, and the value is 12.48. 12.48 mean number of days. So this is this much of days. Okay, 12.48 days.